Articulation is what really makes jazz kind of come to life. You can easily play a line and just play those notes as is, and it won't sound as good. Let me give you an example as the melody San Do. I'm just going to play it with as minimal articulation as possible and just the melody. Right? So you have the melody, all right notes, it's there, there's a time, there's a feel, but what really makes that melody come to life is playing it with some sort of articulation. Oops, wrong note. But hopefully you understand the concept that I'm trying to bring into this, is that articulation is what adds that extra layer of oomph to your melodies, to your improvisations, to the big band or group setting. It's what adds that extra spice to whatever you're performing. Today, we're going to talk about articulations, and the first kind of 4 articulations that you can start with in your jazz articulation journey. Hey guys, welcome to my channel. I'm Royce Phillips Jr., where we talk about saxophone and different things like that, and hopefully I can share some advice to you to help you along your saxophone journey. And if this is the kind of content you enjoy, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, as more videos will be coming out in the future. But today we're going to talk about articulations, and I'm going to do it in a fun way. I actually put the articulations on note cards just to kind of show you how. So for the most part, you get a note, and this is just the note. The first time I went through San Do, that's what I did. No articulations, no phrasing, no dynamics, and it just sounds flat. And so some of the 4 basic articulations to start out with in jazz is there's 2 kind of long articulations, and then there's 2 short articulations. The 2 short articulations being a staccato. Usually in jazz articulation, when you think about the articulation, a lot of times it's done starting with a D or a T syllable, but usually for the most part it'd be a D. So this one would be articulated as dit. Then another short articulation, which this one, the marcato, which looks like you have a little accent on top, is known as dot. D-A-H-T. So you have dit, and then you have, oh, that's backwards. You have dit, then you have dot, which are 2 different types of short articulations. And let me give you an example here. Dit being something like this. Very short, very staccato, dit. And then the next articulation, the dot, the one with this marcato accent, that one's a little fatter. As you can see, when you feel that, when you say dit, you can feel how short that is, but when you say dot, feel how much larger and fatter that sounds. Dot. So I'm going to play dit and then dot. They're kind of similar in a way, but there are minor differences as to how you play them. And then the 2 long phrases that you will notice is, the first one is what's called a legato. A legato is this marking over here. You'll see a long line above the note, and that just means the note is articulated, but there's no spacing in between the notes. Say you're playing your concert A flat major scale. You hear there's a little bit of space in between the notes. A legato means there will be no space, but there's an articulation in the front of the note. And you want to make sure you're articulating in a way to where you're not hearing that separation. Where if I slurred it, it would sound like this. Right? The first time being a straight slur, no articulation. The second time being a legato, where I'm articulating the front of the note, but that note is still connecting to the next note. And then the last one was a little bit more spacing. And then the fourth and final articulation to kind of get you started is this accent, where you'll see, you'll see this sideways triangle, and that just means that that note is still somewhat long, but you have an accent to it, where you add a little extra air to it, and that is pronounced da, D-A-H. So to give you an example, on the concert A flat major scale, I'm going to accent that top note, kind of over accentuating it. And so those are like the four that you'll get, is the dit, dot, do, which is the legato, and then da, which is that accent. So imagine where the placement of that tongue is and just trying that out. So you have dit, dot, do, da, and then you can combine those things and then play sandu. So hopefully this gives you kind of like a basic understanding of what those accents are and how you could possibly use them in your own playing. And this is just to kind of get you started. But if you've made it this far into the video, that must mean that this kind of material is some of the things that you're looking for. So go ahead, hit that subscribe button, and let me know in the comments if there's something else you'd like me to talk about on the saxophone, and if this made sense for you, or if you want me to go dig a little further on how articulations work. But thank you so much for watching, and YouTube's going to recommend a video for you here, and we'll see you next time.